This guy. What's up, everybody, man? Welcome to another show, NBA Talk with Jay, the Shark, and today we got Skee with us, man. It's Skee Wednesday here, man. Large card as well, so we definitely need some help breaking down all these games, man. What's up with you, Shark? Everything cool with you?
Absolutely. Winning Wednesday, November 10th, 2021. 13 games on the card today. The biggest card of the NBA season. Traditionally, we always say this, Wednesdays are big cards. There's a lot to look at. I've gone into detail. I know Jay has. I think Skee's ready to dominate as well. Skee Prophet, welcome back 2 weeks later. What's going on, brother?
Yeah, it's been pretty good in the association since I last talked to you guys. I think I've won 9 of my last 10, so I'm trying to keep it going. It's good, breaking it down with two sharp minds here. Let's get some money.
Man, let's get to it, man. Straight into it. No time for BSing today, man. We're gonna get straight to it. People ask for the recap. We don't even recap after going 3-0 on the show, my guys. Straight business, man. We're going to the streets of Cleveland here. Wizards versus the Cavs here, my guys. The Cavs. They lost Sexton. He's going to be out probably for the rest of the year. Torn ACL there, messed up his knee. They still without marketing. The Wizards here. They're open up at 4, down to 3 here, Shark. You like some in this game?
I do. I wasn't expecting to, but I am going. Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse, Cleveland, Ohio, home locker room. 7-4 Cavs, 2-1 at home. Come in here, +3. Official play 1 unit. I go back to last year. What happened here? At the back end of last season, Washington clustered 3 outright wins and a 3-0 ATS sample against Cleveland. Of course, at that point in the season, Russell Westbrook was still there. They were making a large-scale push to the playoffs. Mm-hmm. But again, the line functionality really does matter here. -7 at home, 119 to 110. It's stuck on the road at -6.5. They blew them out 122 to 93. And they came home and it was up to 9.5. And they blew them out again, 120 to 105. You guys are catching on to how I cap. When you see 3 blowouts and 3 covers and 3 lines way, way higher, the following season, it's not only the revenge element, it's purely a roster weighting shift. Cleveland has completely changed the paradigm of their roster, their emotional makeup. This is a different team. And what you look at coming in here, Cleveland does come in here off of a road win. However, they have done this before. They beat Charlotte on the road, which we had correctly. And then they came home and beat Portland. So it's not like they just auto tank coming home off of a win. And you look at what the Wizards are doing. The Wizards are coming in here off of 2 impressive home wins in a row. The only other time this season the Wizards had 2 really noteworthy home wins and went on the road, they got hammered. I think Cleveland wins the game outright tonight, and I don't think it's going to be necessarily even that close. Official play, Cleveland +3, should be -3 probably, 1 unit.
Skee, what you like in this one, man? Cavs been hot. What we doing here?
Yeah, I wish I watched that other game. I know you watched it, or you guys watched it when Rubio came in and was balling, because I think I was maybe caught up watching the Laker game and the Suns game and watching 2 other games and neglecting that one. But if Ricky Rubio is going to come in and play like that, they're really going to miss Colin Sexton is kind of how I'm thinking. I see a Okoro game time decision. He's a big boost. I like Okoro. He's a baller. So I get it. If you're a believer in Rubio, I would be on the Cavs side here. For me, since I didn't watch enough of it, I just have to stay off the side, and I'll go to the total. I think both teams here, not that good shooting the 3. They've been fairly decent defending it, and neither team is playing with pace. So I would agree with the direction that the total has went, and I would play it under.
Gotcha. Yeah, I'm glad Skee coming in here with the total looks for my guys, man, in the chat. Everybody in the chat, if you're watching the show again, we appreciate everybody for tuning in. It's a tough game for me. Obviously you see the line going down in Shark's direction. It opened up at 4. It's coming down to 3. The Cavs have been red hot. They won 4 straight, covered 5 straight as well. I'm not ready to bet against them. We see the Wizards overperforming, which I knew that they would be a little bit better than a lot of people would thought. I didn't think they would come out here this hot. They've won 2 straight as well. they head on the road here now. I must say it is a winnable game for the Wizards. I'm not necessarily sure what to do with both of these teams yet. We know that Rubio came off the bench, had a huge game. Now can he duplicate that same performance with the starting team now? So sometimes when you have the starting guard go out, you'll see the team rally, and that next game could be a letdown game. Absolutely nothing for me on this game, my guys. Let's go to the next game here. We have the Nets versus the Magic, my guys. Nets open up at 9-point favorites here on the road. The total up at 209.5. It's up to 211 here, Shark. Like I said, we got the Nets. They were red hot. They're coming off their loss now. Harden's starting to get a little bit more acclimated with this new game here. What do you think about this one, Shark? Do you think the Magic keep it close in this one?
This is a bit of a tough cap for me. I hate the number. In this campaign, we are young, obviously, 11 games in. The Magic have won 3 ball games. Every time they've won, the very next game they've gotten blown out.
Yeah.
And every time the Nets have lost, they've come back and covered the next game. So those are very noteworthy trends here. So that, of course, would lean you towards Brooklyn here. The only problem is the Magic, I've said this before, I think the Magic are connecting with Mosley down there as a group. I think they're competing harder than most teams. I think this is kind of a dead zone spot for the Nets. The Nets did lose last year in Orlando outright. Kevin Durant did not play in that game. That was Kyrie Irving and James Harden. But regardless, this line is short. They laid 10.5 last year. It's coming down to 9. It's not moving back to the environment. We've seen this with the Magic before, specifically in Minnesota when the Magic did win outright. The line was scaling against, and they actually did correlate towards it. I want to take the Nets. I can't take it on this number. I need this to be 10.5 for the Nets. It's short, and it could be just a dead zone spot down here in Orlando tonight. Skee?
Yeah, I couldn't play the Nets here. I know before their previous game, they were playing really good. And I don't think they were playing really tough competition, just like Orlando is today. But the reason why, I can't play Brooklyn here is just the rest disadvantage. It's their 3rd game in 4 nights. I want to say they've been on the road maybe for all of them. And Orlando's off 2 days rest. So just with that, I mean, Orlando, their last 5 games, they're a top 5 defensive rated team on the season. They're top 10 defending the 3. So I would just, if I'm playing this game, I would hold my nose, look away, find something else to watch, and bet the Magic plus the points.
My guys, find something else to watch. Yeah, they are damn near getting double digits, but I think something that stands out even more to me was exactly what Shark said. The Magic don't put together back-to-back performances, in my opinion. It's usually they'll win 1, then lose 2 in a row, but especially the next game for sure, my guys. So, and even they don't cover the spread. So that's what I'd be looking for. This NBA is all about patterns. You find the right pattern with a certain team, you can literally ride that shit the whole year, and that's exactly. I don't know if the Magic, it'll be many situations where they win back-to-back or cover back-to-back. So that's what I'll be looking at it here. Possibly the Nets come in here and clean them up. It's not something that I feel super strong on, my guys. Let's go to
the street.
Something,
Jay.
Go ahead.
I mean, what we do when we sports bet, we're trying to beat the market. We're trying to beat the bookmakers. The market obviously is going to adjust. They're not going to continue to get beat on the same things over and over again. So, where do you think this line should be for the Magic? You think they haven't adjusted yet?
That's a good point. Go ahead, Shark.
This should be at least 10.5 Brooklyn. And I see Nets bets in the chat. There is a Nets game today. So this is a great day for Nets bet. However, last year when the Nets did lose there, it was Vucevic, it was Fournier, it was Aaron Gordon, which gives even more credential to this being short. If they lay 10.5 against that group, this should be at least 10.5 with Kevin Durant in the lineup as well. I need this for strength. I need it at 11.5, 12 minimum. It's just, and again, Skee, I always say to Jay on the air, as a person, I try to look up to who I believe to be smarter than me. Who do I think is smarter than me? Vegas professional odds makers, algorithms. Their lines tell a damn good story as to what's going on in the game. So as my natural capping style, I look at the numbers and then I react to it. Over the course of time, I have really tabulated myself. But again, this needs to be around 12, period. It's very short. So,
yeah, I think it speaks to us being the 3rd game in 4 nights as well as the Nets being on the road here. And like you say, I mean, the Magic hadn't been too terrible. If you look at the numbers, certain type of games, certain type of matchups. I mean, they're coming off a game where they just beat the Jazz as 11 underdogs. underdogs, right? But the last time they did that, like you say, they went and got cleaned up versus the Heat. It was a back-to-back and on the road, but last time they won as double-digit underdogs. The next game they got smacked by 17. So in theory, this is a different situation. They've had a couple of days off. They have been at the house. This is the fourth game of a four-game road. So I wouldn't be surprised if the Magic could keep this one close, like the Nets win and then Magic cover, my guys. Could definitely see scenarios where that happen. Let's go to the streets of Boston here. We got the Celtics here. Last time they laid 7 at the house versus the Raptors, lost straight up. They still had Jaylen Brown then. Now you see this game open up at 2. Celtics coming off that game winner loss. No, like I say, no Jaylen Brown here. Is Schroeder in the starting lineup and Marcus Smart, which they actually hadn't been too bad here, Shark. What we doing in this game, my guy?
This is a tough cap. We don't really have a big sample from the Celtics here at home in the campaign. 0-3 straight up and 0-3 ATS. Of course, 10 games. So 7 road games. They have been better on the road. They have been poor at home. At some point, that's going to flip. So you ask yourself, why wouldn't it flip in a game against the Raptors in which they got insulted at home prior, 115-83? But then again, the line is completely scaling against the environment. So they're telling you this is going to be a really tight game. And again, it's not something I'm trying to gamble on here, to be real terse.
Yeah, Skee, what you think about this game, Raptors Celtics? You like anything in this one?
Oh, well, I'm looking at this game. For one, the Raptors play tomorrow, and I really am not a fan on playing teams that play the next day. Like, I really got to like them a lot to play, because if they're losing by any kind of margin in that third, fourth quarter, they could just let the rope go and save it for tomorrow.
That's a good point.
I see they get Siakam back. They're pretty healthy for the Raptors. They've definitely been playing better than Boston. I have Raptors as 4-0 against the spread on the road. Boston has yet to cover a game at home. But I don't know. Something about this game just seems off to me. I feel like maybe Siakam coming back maybe messes up the rhythm a little bit for the Raptors. I know Boston doesn't have Jaylen Brown, but I mean, I look at it in 2020, which last season, I think they were 10-5 without Jaylen Brown. They're 36-19 all time without him. So they still can get the job done. And they're coming off. I mean, it's rare you see a team have more than 2 days rest. They got 3 days rest. So if Boston's going to do anything, they're here at the house, 3 days rest. I think this is the spot to do it. So if I was going to play this game, I probably would lean Boston just for that reason. And on the total, both bottom 5 in pace the last 5 games, both bottom 10 in 3-point percentage on the season. I'm not really seeing a very high scoring game. I probably would lean under.
Exactly. Yeah, we know that the Raptors like to play towards and under as well. One of the most sticky defensive teams in the league. They have 4 guys over there that average top 5 in deflections over there. So the team really gets it done with defense. If the Raptors come in here and play a representative game, it will definitely, I think Raptors correlate with an under. Celtics probably correlate to an over. They want to get fast pace before that the Raptors can really break down their defense, my guys. So the Celtics seem to turn a corner there. Obviously, they got the win versus the Magic, then went up back-to-back versus Miami. Those are really impressive win. Then obviously they tanked that game to the Mavs, even though you still have to give them credit. They were down 19 and were tied late in that game. Obviously just lost to a game winner. So they went 3-0 against the spread. Like Shark say, they are 0-3 against the spread at the house. They are due to come up, in my opinion. This is a revenge game. I know the line is coming towards the Raptors here, but it's supposed to. No Jaylen Brown this time around. So I still lean the Celtics here. I know the Raptors lost 2 straight. I think the Celtics possibly could clean them up here at the house. It's not something I've took, but I could see this being a razor sharp game. Lean Celtics here. I did end up staying away from this one, my guys. Let's go to the streets of New York here, man. You talk about the back-to-back. This is the second game of back-to-back for the Bucks here. I'm with you, Skee. It is a little scary when you hopping on the first game of back-to-back, but second game of back-to-back here, Shark. The Bucks open up as +3 underdogs. Now sitting at +4 for the Bucks side. You think the Knicks can clean them up here, or do you think the Bucks come in here and get some revenge, my guy?
This is real tough again. The Knicks are hard to predict. As I always say, the Knicks are not so much about the number. They're more about their motivation in the matchup. The Knicks, of course, should motivate against the Milwaukee Bucks at home. They did beat them last year at home by 20 early season. But I do look at what's going on here with the Bucks coming in a revenge game. And the Bucks are lackluster on the campaign. This is what I talk about when one team should get better long term. It's kind of tough, like to fade Indiana right now is brutal. it's just not something I'm trying to get involved with here. Fading the Bucks in a revenge game, even though the number is scaling towards the Knicks. Milwaukee has lost 3 out of the last 4 to the Knicks. Again, I just think it's going to be in their mind to a certain degree. They need to play a better game. But again, they're a back-to-back fatigue spot, and the numbers all over the Knicks. So just a no play for me.
Yeah, what you think about this one, Skee? The Bucks, man, even though they covered last night, it didn't look so impressive to me. What you think in this one, my guy?
Well, the Bucks need Middleton. What I think about this game in general, I think it's a tough spot for Milwaukee. It's a spot I really don't want to play teams in, and not just because, well, like it's their third game in 4 nights. They played yesterday, and the toughest spot, in my opinion, in the NBA is a road to road back to back. So that already just has me not wanting to look Milwaukee's way. For New York, though, the part that holds me up here is I see Mitchell Robinson game time decision, Noel game time decision. Are you gonna have anybody to protect the paint? Because if not, Giannis is gonna go crazy in there. So that's something I need. If you get some rim protectors, I'll feel a little bit more confident, especially when you have to lay points first. When you have to lay points with New York, who versus Milwaukee, who I think is a better team. So for me, it would just be a play against the spot for Milwaukee and taking the Knicks.
Yeah, no, I'm with you on that. So before the Knicks beat them, they beat them earlier this year. Obviously, I believe we was on the Knicks there, 113-98. That was in Milwaukee. That was when I believe Holiday and Middleton was out. It was just Giannis and the guys. Knicks beat them before that. Before that, the Bucks pretty much owned the Knicks, had won 7 out of the previous 8. So it just seems like the Knicks are really trying to on this revenge tour versus the Bucks after losing so many times to them over the past years. They're like, you know what, it's a little bit more even now. Obviously, they're a lot more healthier, and Noel or Mitchell Robinson didn't play last night, Skee. So I actually think that may translate to them. They probably saw, hey, back to back, we might be able to get this one done without our guys, knowing that Embiid is. They only had 7 guys yesterday. The Sixers did. The Bucks still struggle versus them. I'm looking at the game in the first quarter, first half. These motherfuckers down 13 to these bums, man. So the Bucks right now, man, it just seems even when they do get it done, they still don't look right in it. 0-4 against the spread, last 4 playing on the back-to-back with 0 days rest, the Bucks are. So we know they don't have all their guys, kind of a funky group right now without one of their stars, Middleton. It's a tough spot for me, in my opinion. I'd still be looking at the Knicks here. Knicks are nothing for me here. They have the rest advantage, no game tomorrow, anything like that. And I mean, this is the champs coming into their house, Madison Square Garden. They, like I say, they're on the back-to-back, probably fatigue spot here. I lean Knicks here. I definitely lean the Knicks. It's Knicks or nothing for me, my guys. Let's go to the next. Talk about days rest. You talk about days rest, my guys, man. These Pistons have been off since the 5th, guys. Guys got 4 days. I couldn't believe it. I'm like, these motherfuckers had 4 days off rest, man. What happened? Y'all had a bye week or what? Shark, what we doing in this one, man?
We are taking the Houston Rockets officially at -3. I went through this last night. I originally said I wasn't going to look at this game. And then I said to myself, you know, when I see a team that's 1-9 laying points, something goes off in my head that something's fishy. I like fishy stuff. It tells me a good story. And you look back and you say, okay, so what was their only win? It was the only other time they were favored in the campaign. They were favored against the Oklahoma City Thunder, and they blew them out by 20 points. And you go back to last year, Houston actually did beat Detroit on the road 103-102 and cover. Then they came home and got blown out by Detroit at home. So you get a revenge game. That was also a fairly noteworthy game for Houston. That was their 19th straight loss. It was the longest losing streak in franchise history. Detroit was the one that laid it on them in their home stadium. So now they come back here off an elongated losing streak, an 8-game losing streak, and a road trip. You get a revenge game, you get a strong number, and you get the corollary to the only time they've won and covered a game this year at home, which was a favorite against the Thunder. The Thunder and the Pistons are weighted very similarly. It's a great take for Houston tonight. 1 unit, -3. I think they win the game by 10 to 12 points.
Yeah, no. My guy in the chat said, no disrespect to Shark, because there's always money to be made. My guy said 1-800-HELP gambling. if you bet this game, man. It's a tough game to bet, I must say. I remember in the preseason that the Rockets smacked them up, and I remember saying, and obviously Jalen Green. So I wish this game was in Detroit. If this game was in Detroit, I'd be all over the Pistons here. It is something I'm staying off of. Pistons off 4 straight losses, been practicing for 4 straight days, so I can't say. This is a spot that I'll be looking towards the Pistons. I'm looking at the line. I'd say to myself, I kind of like the Pistons here. There's no way in hell I'm betting this game. The Rockets are off of 9 straight losses. Come off first game at the house off of a 5-game road trip, which they played well. They went 3-1 against the 3-1 against the spread on their road trip. I still think the Pistons clean up here. One thing to note, guys, in this game, if you are betting this game, Kevin Porter Jr. is questionable here. Without Kevin Porter Jr., I would not be looking towards the Rockets in this one. Jalen Green has not been that great, in my opinion. He probably will not get Rookie of the Year, guys. I'm sorry to crush anyone's dreams, but Jalen Green does not get Rookie of the Year unless he just really ups his game. It's not happening. Now, Porter goes out. That'll help Green, but I'm saying too much about this game. I lean Pistons. They've had a boatload of days off, been off since the 5th. I lean Pistons here, guys. Call me crazy, but I think they'll get it done. If they do lose, then I'll be all over the Pistons when they go in Detroit. We know the dynamic of Jalen Green saying he thought it should have been number 1. He didn't want to go to Detroit. It'll be rocking, but I heavy lean the Pistons for me here. And if you like the Rockets, you definitely need to see what's up with Kevin Porter Jr. He's one of their better players, but you do have the dynamic of Christian Wood. Revenge versus his old team in the Rockets, my guys. But it's icky game. It is, but I do lean the Pistons here. I do lean the Pistons. Let's go to the streets. I know Skee said he didn't have anything on this game, so that's why I didn't even go to him, my guys. Let's go to the next game here. We're going to the streets of Chicago here. Skee, we're going to go to you here first. The Mavs versus the Bulls here. Bulls laying 3.5, 4 points. Skee, you like anything on this one? Anything on the total?
Well, the Bulls, they kind of proved me wrong a little bit, right? I said I'm not sure if they're legit or whatever the case is. I know Brooklyn hasn't been too great, but I mean they've been pretty gritty. Nice little comeback win for the Bulls. So it's tough for me to take the Mavericks here. I know the Mavericks are 7-3, but I'm still not a fan of what I've been seeing. I look at the last 5 game stats. Chicago better offensively, defensively. They've been the better rebounding team. So I see all advantages for Chicago here. Even if they're losing in the first half, I feel like all season long they've kind of been that second half juggernaut, just like we saw or not juggernaut, but they play really well in the second half, just like we saw in the last game. So only way I would play this game would be to take Chicago. And I think they opened this line pretty low for the total. It's gone up 3 points or 2.5 points from 212.5 to 215. I think it's going in the right direction.
Yeah, what you think, Shark? The Bulls, they're at the house, 3-game homestand. It's the last game of their homestand. What you think, Shark? Think they cleaned up my Mavs?
I think this is razor sharp. It's not something I'm trying to gamble on at all. You look at last year, Dallas did lose both games to the Bulls, so you get a double revenge game coming in here. I think that'll be ripe in their mind. And you go back to last year in certain environments, the Bulls have been inconsistent. As I've said, I haven't had a good handle on the Bulls this year until I finally got over the hump in a blowout victory against the Nets. That's another corollary point. I don't love the Bulls necessarily to back up that huge Nets victory with another win out of division where they'd already cleaned this team up twice last year. That all being said, Dallas does come into the game fairly hot themselves at 7-3 on the campaign. I think 3.5 is razor sharp and just not something I'm really trying to involve myself with here.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. Bulls, this is the last game of their little home stand before they head out on the West Coast for a West Coast road trip. So be interested to see their mindset here. Do they want to go ahead and finish up this homestand, go 2-1 on this homestand, which I'm sure they do, or are they looking towards the Warriors, the Clippers, and the Lakers, which a lot of teams do as well, my guys. So it's a tough game for me. The Mavs have won 3 straight. One thing for me, the Mavs haven't covered back-to-back games this season. When they cover a game, they'll reel off 3 straight non-covers, cover a game, then 3 straight non-covers. So even though they're 7-3 against the spread, they don't usually back up a cover against the spread cover with another, although they're not laying points here. Most of those cases, they were laying points. Well, that's why you see the wins and then not necessarily the ATS covers. Here, they are the dog. I must say, I do lean the Mavs here, like you say, with the double revenge from last year. And the Mavs are playing well right now. They got Jalen Brunson off the bench. They're deferring to him. He's the best player on the team right now. You got Porzingis back. You got Luka. He look still a little overweight, whatever, but hey, he still can go off at any time. The Mavs can come in here and play a really good defensive game, in my opinion. We know that it's Levine, it's Ball, and it's DeRozan. Mainly, well, I ain't gonna get on my guy Skee Lonzo on my too much.
Hey, wait till you lock in their ass up over there tonight. Just wait.
This is a good game for me to watch, guys. I can't wait to watch it. I must say the Mavs are due to drop another one. Like I say, they don't back up the covers with another cover. I do lean Mavs up. I'm staying off. Next game up, man. We got the Hornets versus Grizzlies here, Shark. Hornets versus the Grizzlies, my guys. Grizzlies coming off that overtime. I mean, you talk about a bad beat. This the NBA, man. Sometimes it happens. Timberwolves were all the way in that game. I know they missed Carney. I know they wish that he missed that shot. Grizzlies going to win by 7 in overtime. Oh, boy, Shark. What you think about this one, guy?
I think it's going to continue here, actually. I think this -4.5 is razor sharp. You look what happened last year. Memphis did go into Charlotte and clean them up in the definition of a Ciroc on ice game. Nobody played for Memphis in that game, and Charlotte just straight up did not show up. The game was on New Year's Day, actually, so I think LaMelo Ball and the guys had a hell of a New Year's Eve party and just did not show up and got blown out 104-83. Then they came back in at Memphis. The line did move towards Memphis there at -2.5, and Memphis covered again. So you get a double revenge game for Charlotte. One thing that I do like here for Charlotte, if you go back to last year, they had 2 trips against the West, and both started on the Pacific Coast and came east, some at the Southwest, and they played better on the back end of those trips. They beat San Antonio. They beat a couple other teams. So I think from that standpoint, getting out of the West Coast, where they've been awful so far, coming back east would lean to a psychological shift and a better environment for Charlotte in a double revenge game. But the number is not great. Memphis did lay 2.5 at home, and double revenge should suggest a sticking point going the other direction. It's coming up to 4.5. And again, you look at Memphis all year, go back to the games against Denver at home, even go back to last year. Memphis is one of those teams that is really sharply graded by books. I would lean Charlotte here if I had to double revenge coming off the West Coast here like they did last year at the back end of trips, but it's not official for me.
What you I think Skee say he had some official here. I want to lean the Hornets as well, man. They did play a really good game versus the Lakers, lost in overtime. Whereas the Grizzlies coming off overtime win here, Skee. It's man. Oh, but I think the Hornets don't. I don't know if they like me, man. Skee, it's sometimes the team just had your number. Skee, what we doing in this one?
Yeah, I don't think this one is hard. I came in here the other day when you were doing the show. I think it was 2 days ago when they were playing the Lakers, the Hornets versus Lakers, and I'm like, are the Lakers this trash? Like, the line is this short versus the Hornets? Like, the Hornets have been terrible. I don't know how you can continue to go to the window with them. All right, first of all, they've been on a extremely long road trip. I think this is their last game of a 5-game road trip. They've lost their last 5 games. They're coming off an overtime game in the last one, and it's their 3rd game in 4 nights. It's just it's not good for Charlotte. I look at other things that have been a problem for them. They get off to terrible starts in the games. Why do they get off to terrible starts? Because one thing that contributes to it is LaMelo. He gambles too much. He's trying to make maybe a winning play in his mind defensively, going for steals, and he picks up fouls and he gets sat on the bench. And if he's on the bench, the Hornets not gonna have any chance. He has 40 fouls through 12 games. You know what I'm saying? So, and I think he fouled out a couple times too. So that's something that's holding them back to start the games. Another thing, I think they got to figure out who's going to be their closer. Even when they're winning some of these games, they can't close it out. Like, you get points from Hayward throughout the game, but maybe he's the guy you need to step up in the 4th quarter. They got to figure out who the closer is going to be. And then lastly, Plumlee, he got to stop fouling, bro. Yeah. He fouled out, like, I think either the last 3 games or 2 of the last 3 games, and they already are not that great protecting the paint, So if he fouls out in this game, they're really going to be in trouble. Memphis, their top 3 points in the paint. Ja Morant's going to attack. So when I look at the flip side, I see LaMelo having trouble if he gets caught on John Morant, and he's probably going to pick up those early fouls. I see John Morant continuing to have success in the paint. This Memphis team, they had a gritty performance, like you just mentioned, won in overtime. They've won 3 of their last 4. They've been at home for a while. They're off a game of rest. They rested. They already had two days rest before that. So it's a rested team versus a dog-tired team. They can take advantage of the paint on them. I look at Memphis versus lesser competition. They're 2-0 versus 45% win teams against the spread. I think Memphis is going to blow them out in this game, and I think it's how you say, Jay. It's Smack City. I think it's Smack City. I think it start early. I look at the first half margin for Charlotte. They're the worst first half team in the league, minus 7.9 first half margin. So I think it's early and often here. I like Memphis first half, Memphis full game.
Hey, my guy Skee dropping y'all off with the gems, man. He liked the Grizzlies here. I'll be honest. I hope the Hornets get blown the fuck out the water. I hope they lose by 50. They got to come back to the house and get something together, Shark. Like you said, with the Hawks, that's kind of how the Hornets looking, where they will get back, turn it back on at the house. We saw LaMelo start, but hey, he told the coach maybe some inner turmoil. Hey, I got to be in late in the game. You had 5 fouls, bro. Like, what the fuck? Don't foul. They did play a really good game. The Lakers though only lost by 3, so their line was razor sharp. Sharp, did you have something you want to say real quick?
Yeah, just final point. I don't disagree with that take, Skee, because the number is on them. It's moving strength towards them, where it should be sticking the other direction. The only thing that I do think is interesting, if you go back to last year, I'll repeat that. When Charlotte had played a clustered game in the Pacific Coast, they came back east, still on the trip, not home. Yeah. It totally flipped their efficiency. And you made the point, they're good against 45% win teams. Again, the opponent really does determine their outcome, it seems. They'll beat up on the 45%ers, go out west, they'll get hammered. I think this transfer to southwest plus just getting outside of that Pacific Coast time, it could shift it. But again, the number's all over them. So this is where it's a definition of a no play for me. The narratives for me are on Charlotte, but the number is on Memphis. So it's a no play for me. But Skee, let's dominate, man. Come on.
Man, we got 530 people watching live, man. Hit the like button if y'all can. Let's cash together, my guys. Let's go to the streets of San Antonio here. We got the streets of San Antonio. We got the Kings versus the Spurs here, man. A really good matchup, in my opinion, man. You talk about a toss game. Obviously, I mean, someone's going to win it, but it's going to be a damn good close game. 2 of the kind of similar teams, in my opinion. Got a lot of kind of speedy 3-and-D type of guards. Not a ton of size out there. What we like in this one, Shark? You like some of this game?
Absolutely. Visitors locker room, 8:30 p.m. Eastern, AT&T Center, San Antonio, Texas, taking the Sacramento Kings at a pick'em. We go back to last year. We look at what happened early season. They played a COVID-sanctioned back-to-back environment in San Antonio. San Antonio was laying 2.5 points in the first game. Sacramento beat them by 27 points, 132-105. Then the line stuck. Should have moved the other direction. San Antonio cleaned them up. Then on the road later season, San Antonio moved up in strength to -4.5 and handled them again, ATS. So you get a double revenge game here for Sacramento, but you also get a really nice environmental shift for them. They did this early season. They melted off 2 straight home games at home to Utah and Golden State. Then they went into Phoenix in a revenge game and beat Phoenix. So you get the double revenge game. You get it off of 2 lackluster home games coming into the environment here today. I think you also get a mini look-ahead spot for the Spurs. They have a revenge game against Dallas on Friday within the division. So I think it's just kind of a one-off little funky spot here for them. I think the Sacramento Kings could win this game by 15 points tonight. Official play, Sacramento, 1 unit.
I do lean that way with you, Shark. I actually do like the Kings today here, Skee. What you like anything in this game? The Spurs are -1 favorites at the house with their 1-3 straight up, Skee.
Yeah, this game is a little tough for me. How I gotta think to play this one. I'll look at the total first. Both top 10 in pace over the last 5 games, but on the season, they both top 10 defended the perimeter. So maybe we don't see a lot of open threes for either side. But if we get that pace for both teams, and I look at the Spurs, they've been getting up and over that number at the house, 4-0 to the over there. And the Kings, they've been an under team so far this year, 7-4, but on the road, 3-2 to the over. So I think with the pace, we can maybe get there early. I probably would look towards first half over, and it's a little bit shaded. It's It opened at 112 or 112 and a half up to 113 and a half. But I kind of see this game. I see Sacramento fizzling out as it goes on. Like for a while, I don't have the updated numbers, but they had the worst second half defense in the league. I'm looking at them. It's their third game in 4 nights. So I'm thinking maybe they could just tire out as the game goes. It's not a game I'm going to play, but if I have to play it, I will play the over first half. And if I have to take a side, I will take the home team.
Gotcha. Oh man, my guy doesn't really like it, man. Yeah, there are some counterpoints to take the Spurs here. My guy Shark has a really good point there. That they have a revenge game versus the Mavs on a double revenge game as well. My guys got the Kings coming off 2 straight losses. This is their first game on the road here. Halliburton and Terrence Davis are questionable here. I'm pretty sure Halliburton should come back. He was pretty much they were on a back-to-back. I'm sure that's why they rested him in the last game. So definitely need Halliburton here for sure. And if he's ruled in, you will see this line flip. I'm not so sold on the Spurs, my guys. You see the way they played versus the Thunder. They were up 15 points in that game. You pissed away a 15-point lead versus the Thunder, man. What are we doing here? I think the Spurs are one of the worst teams in the Western Conference. I think the Kings have surpassed them now, maybe even coaching-wise. Like Pop look like he doesn't have right now. I definitely be looking towards the Kings in this one, my guys. It's Kings or nothing. There are some points to take the Spurs, but I'm not looking at them. It's Kings or nothing for me today, my guys. I agree with my guy Shark, and I'll probably end up riding with them, my guys.
Hey, you know what? Let me ask you: Is Jakob Poeltl in the lineup?
He's still out. Who's gonna fucking play center? Ebanks?
Yeah, that's
Keldon Johnson? Stop
against
it.
Holmes.
Holmes is
Holmes
gonna
have
eat
a
them
day.
alive. He's gonna eat them alive.
I agree. I forgot about Poeltl out.
Yeah. What are we doing? We talking about Jakob Poeltl being out, but he's their only center though. He's their only center though. So good. Yeah, it's gonna be tough, man. I actually think the Kings finna go on a little run here, man. They got OKC and then the Pistons next. These boys trying to break out this season. I think the Kings finna get this one done. I like the look by my guy Shark. Let's go to the streets of Denver here, man. We finna go hit the dispensary one time. Now, the Jokic is out for this game, guys. He is. So you have the Pacers laying 3.5 on the road here, Shark. You like something in this game with Ciroc on ice? Do your thing with the Ciroc on ice, shit, man.
Well, at a 12:40 Eastern hour, I unfortunately do not have champagne on ice, but I wanted to take Indiana here, but I just can't do it with Jokic out. The idea behind the Ciroc on ice model, it's a joke, is that the minute the top player for an NBA team is out, whether it be injury, suspension, or load management, the other team just doesn't take the game seriously. And it's hard to suggest that Indiana, who started this campaign at 1-6 straight up, would not take this game seriously. But coming off of 2 representative efforts in the middle of a West Coast road trip where they have not played particularly well historically, I could see them lay down even on a strong figure here. Double revenge game. They did lose emphatically both times to Denver last year. But again, if Jokic was playing, I would have loved getting Indy here at around maybe +1. But now laying 3 with that, again, funky emotional environment with the motivation potentially being a little unfocused for Indiana, I just can't go there.
What you think about this one, Skee? It's a tough game. I could definitely see scenarios where, like, the Nuggets have depth, right? Skee, they have some depth. Can they do it without their bed? They're already out with MPJ, which that's kind of been addition without subtraction. Now they're without their quarterback and best center and Jokic. What you think about this one, Skee?
I mean, the Pacers should win. I've seen a lot of times. And not that he was ruled out due to injury or anything, but I've seen a lot of times when a star player goes out, that team shows up for a game, and bit of overreaction. So Pacers, quote unquote, should win, but they've yet to win as a road favorite. They play tomorrow. I'm not going to be putting my money on them. I see Brogdon game time decision too. This is going to be a pass for me.
Yeah, no, I'm with you on that. I still kind of like the matchups for the Nuggets here. Call me crazy. I actually still kind of like the matchups. They can ball because they'll have JaMychal Green coming here. He's no Jokic. Still got Aaron Gordon, Jeff Green. Got some veteran guys over there, man. This game is going to be on Turner and Sabonis. If they don't show up here, they're not winning this game, my guys. So it's an opportunity for the Pacers to get a win on the road. It's a fishy type game, in my opinion. I'm not laying it looks easy to take the Pacers. Could be that easy, but I am saying, It's been way too much widespread Jokic being out. Now they have to make the Pacers the favorite here, right? Because they're going to grade Jokic as like 6.5, 7 points.
Yeah.
Now, I'm telling you this right now. He's going to be graded 6.5, 7 points to the spread. Sharp, what was you about to say?
Yeah, no, just final comment. I think we're making alignment points here that people really need to be aware of the fact that when the top players are out, the other team just does not bring that effort. You look at Denver. I mean, some of their guys, I love my man Monte Morris coming out of Iowa State. Just guys like that. They got grinder guys on that team that are going to want to show up here to win the game. It's always an opportunity for guys that usually don't handle the ball. They're going to get more burn, more run. Second unit guys oftentimes just show out. It's just not where you want to put your money on Indiana laying points here against a team without their top player.
Exactly. Let's get to the next game here, though. So it is a pass for us there. If you guys are betting the Pacers, hey, good luck. I hope you cash. It's just not something that I'm on today, my guy. Let's go to some revenge spot, man. We're going to the streets of Phoenix, man. We're going to the Valley. My guy has the hat on. You dig what I'm saying? It's a couple of injuries for him. Aiden out, Landry Shamet is doubtful. But now they're catching the Blazers in the exact spot that they were caught in. The Blazers smacked the shit out the Suns by 30-some points after coming off their win versus the Lakers. Now the Blazers, they are coming off a loss, but it's a back-to-back. This team is not going to fare well on the road all season, in my opinion. I think I'm going to make that. I'm going to go on the limb, and I'm going to stand on it. Dang, 4 for 13 again. What the fuck is he? He doesn't like the new ball or what? You ain't been practicing? All right, hold on a conversation, but we liking the Suns today, Shark. Tell them what we doing.
Well, on a suddenly not so casual winning Wednesday, November 10th, 2021, the buy hat is engaged. And we look what's going on here. As Jay laid the table, he said it. I'll continue. Portland on back-to-back off a non-cover last night. A tough travel and a well-played game. That was pretty tight down the stretch. We did get there with the Clippers. And you go through the last 4 matchups. Again, sometimes I tell you the lines don't tell you a good story. Sometimes they're razor sharp. Other environments, they tell you a damn good story. They tell you a damn good story with the Phoenix versus Portland matchup. Go back to the first one last year. Phoenix laid 6.5 at home and blew them out. They went on the road and laid 4.5. It should have come down to 3, so it was strong for Phoenix. They blew them out again. Then they came home. It came down to 2 instead of coming up to 8, and they only won by 1 point, and Portland covered. Then you got a triple revenge game, and Portland moved to -3. That's 5. It should have been 3, and they blew them out. Now it moves 8 from 3 to 5 the other direction. This is showcasing potential blowout environment. Phoenix started the campaign very lackluster, straight up 1-3 or 1-4 straight up on the campaign. They have won 5 in a row, but they haven't been particularly great ATS. They have covered some games. They've all been against bottom feeder teams for the most part outside of Atlanta, and they're due to blow somebody out. I think they could catch Portland here in a really tough travel spot down in the desert. Footprint Center, -5, 1 unit, 9 p.m. Phoenix Suns.
Let's cash it, my guy. Skee, what you doing? You rolling with a Smack City spot with us? Will the Blazers cover a game on the road here anytime soon, Skee?
Eventually. I mean, like I said, the market is going to catch up and adjust. You know what I'm saying? So they're going to start giving you numbers to where it's just at a point where they're going to cover. In this game, though, it's just like I said earlier. It's one of those spots I don't like to bet. It's the 4th game in 6 nights for Portland. Road to road, back to back. That's a tough spot to play in the NBA, man. And they already, I think, lost every road game. They for sure haven't covered. So it would have to be Phoenix here. I don't love that Aiden's out. I mean, if Aiden was out, then I'm really on Smack City type of for Phoenix. But I probably would look towards the total here. I think without Aiden, you only have McGee there. Not a whole lot of rim protection for this Phoenix squad. They're playing at the 2nd fastest pace in the league the last 5 games, both bottom 5, defending the 3. So I think there's potential for points here, and I would prefer it in the first half before maybe Portland's legs get tired or Phoenix is up and, Chris Paul just start taking the air out the ball. So this game, I would play first half over, or I'll play the Phoenix side.
Yeah, I know a lot of people don't like it, man, but revenge spot here, my God. Revenge game, Jay. I don't give a damn if you don't like it. Like you say, I mean, hey, the Blazers, 4th game in 6 nights. They're on the back-to-back. They're on the road. A couple of players playing 40 minutes. This is a jump shooting team, guys. You want to pay attention to jump shooting teams on the back-to-back, and as well going up against a team in the Suns that have some really good perimeter defenders out there, my guys. So Covington, 39 minutes. Powell, 32 minutes. Lillard, 39 minutes. minutes, 4 for 13 from 3, man. Pedestrian. McCollum, 34 minutes. These guys play. They don't have their bench isn't great outside of Larry Nance. I mean, Larry Nance only played 9 minutes. I'm not sure what's going up to him. Their backup center is fucking Cody Zeller, man. What are we doing? I'll take McGee and Frank Kaminsky to go up against those guys. So no Landry Shamet, he's doubtful, and no DeAndre Ayton here, but I'm still going with the Suns here, my guys. Minus the 5, back-to-back spot. The Blazers on 5 on the road against the spread. Need I say more? And they're going up against the squad that will come in here motivated. You want to hop on motivated spots in the NBA. You lose by 30, you damn sure they're gonna fucking come back with something to say in that one. So give me the Smack City spot here, right with my guy Sharp. I like the Suns here. Y'all know me. Y'all know I was gonna be on that shit. Next game up, we're going to some Golden Streets here. The Golden State, my guys, streets of San Francisco here, Shark. The Warriors line open up at 7.5, down to 7 with all the money on the Warriors here. What's going on in this one, Shark? Do the Wolves have a chance to cover?
Yes, I think they have a chance to win the game outright. 10 p.m. Chase Center, official play, +7. What we're looking at here, last year, go back to a back-to-back sequence in Golden State. Golden State handled them both times by double digits on an 8.5 and a 9. So when you win by double digits on 8.5, 9, and the line opens up lower at 7, it's telling you a tight story here. Of course, Minnesota's only had 2 road games. An outright win at Milwaukee, very impressive. And again, the melt of all melts the other night in overtime to not cover, unfortunately, at Memphis, where I had said they would lose the game in regulation by 3, 4, or 5 points. And Karl Anthony Towns decided to hit a half-court shot to send it to overtime, in which they proceeded to get backdoored. If you had Minnesota there, that is really one of the worst beats you will ever find. So anyway, that point being, they still played a very good game there. They come in here catching the Warriors on a 5-game winning streak and a 5-0 ATS sample. Currently, the Wolves are 0-5 ATS last 5. This is precisely what I target when I cap professional basketball. With the Vegas line moving against it from previous environments, one team on a 5-0 ATS sample, the other team on an 0-5 ATS sample, with environmental corollaries being an outright win at Milwaukee and a very good travel at Memphis. I think this is a very tight game against the money line figure here tonight. I think the Wolves could steal this one.
Sharp take from my guy Sharp, man. Pay attention, man. I think we don't have favorite teams, but Warriors might be my guy's favorite team. Pay attention when he's fading the Warriors, guys. We know they've been hot. We know Steph just went for 50 Skee. What do you think about this, Skee? When a player go, I know it's Steph Curry, he's the best player in the NBA, best shooter maybe of all time. When a player goes for 50, don't you agree that it's kind of a letdown game that next game, Skee?
I think it depends on the player. A player like Steph, I think he can continue. I mean, we've seen the great players, they can continue to do it. Like, I miss my man Kobe, man, dropping 50 points like 5 games in a row, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
The
great players, they can do it. But we'll see. This game, I kind of agree with Shark. I think that in general, Golden State is legit. They've definitely been like the best team. They've been playing a lot better than Minnesota. And why I think they're really legit as far as why they can cover point spreads is they're number 1 in 3-point percentage and number 2 defending the 3. That's how you blow teams out. That's how you win by margin. Mm-hmm. So I like Golden State in general, but I don't like that there's the 3rd game in 4 nights. You know, Minnesota, they're fairly rested. It's 1 day rest here, but before that they had 2 days. So I think I prefer to take the healthy rested team plus the 7 points in this matchup.
Man, that's crazy. I'd like to lean. It's tough, man. It's tough to go. Like, I'm the one to do it. Like somebody is saying, check, can the Warriors keep playing like this, man? They are playing on a different level right now. I'm watching this team, and I'll be honest. I was really impressed with them because the Hawks had them. Like, literally, the Hawks came in there like wanting to win a game, up 15, playing perfect. I'm like, okay, this is the Warriors I know. You know what I'm saying? Okay. And then these motherfuckers cut it to 2 or 3 right before the half. I'm like, bro, what's going on? Then the second half, The second half, they just blow them out. I'm like, bro, the Warriors are really playing on a different like Poole. If Poole continues to play like Draymond Green, in my opinion, he's going downhill. Looney, not a big fan at all. But Steph, when he's getting cooking like that, when you have Poole looking like a baby Steph, you got guys like Otto Porter coming off the bench, man, hitting threes. It's not fair. I'm not a huge fan of Damian Lee at all, guys. I'll be honest. I don't think he should see a minute on the NBA court. Maybe like the 12th man, he does get minutes, but I can see the Wolves. They match up pretty well with this team, man. Russell going back to Golden State. He gonna want to show up with some with one thing I'll say about Timberwolves, you see the switch click immediately when Russell comes back, guys. So I do think the Timberwolves will start to, after going on the 0-5 stretch, I do think they're due to come up here. They may cover all three of these games over there in California, my guys. So I like the look from my guy Shark. I might end up riding with you, man. My locals, they will bump this shit up. I might get 8 or something, man. So I probably Shark broke it down real nice. He didn't talk me into it, man. I like it. Last game up, man. We've been on here 50 minutes already. The people love to talk, man. I know I love it too. 640 people watching live, man. Hit the like button, my guys. What are we doing? Shark, we go last game up, man. Oh man, we going to the streets of LA, and it's tough because I had my guy Skee on the show today, man. But I don't like the Lakers today, man. I think this is a smack city spot. We got the Heat over here. They are an East Coast team playing the West Coast. Could possibly be a sleepy spot. I'm going with the Heat. First half, full game here. Now, there are some injuries here, guys. I'll be honest. Before you hop on this, Hero is questionable. PJ Tucker is questionable as well. I think Bam Adebayo is questionable. I think 2 of those 3 are playing this game for sure. They're coming off a game where they just got smacked up in Denver. They're a little pissed off, even more at the Nuggets, but still pissed off. The Lakers, I'm fading them tonight, Skee. I'm sorry. Shark, what you doing? Could you talk me off? Please, somebody try to talk me off the Heat.
I could give you some counterpoints. I wanted to take the Heat as the bounce back to really just probably their worst game of the season. Obviously, they lost to Indiana prior, but they played them in overtime. They were useless in Denver from the opening tip. So you do get the bounce back effect, but unfortunately, you do get a double revenge game here for the Lakers. Miami did beat them and cover both games last year. Late season, -9.5, Miami at home, a blowout. So it's coming down significantly here. Just not something I'm trying to involve myself with. The Lakers have been on the number the last few games. It just, for me, reeks of a sharp figure, similar to the Memphis line at 4.5 as well.
Yeah, you know why I'm not so scared, Shark? The Lakers were in a revenge spot, all this, playoff revenge, all this versus the Suns, and still got their ass smacked. And the Suns weren't even in the good form at that point. And they, even with playoff revenge, still lost by double digits. I just don't think the Lakers are there yet as far as continuity, camaraderie. I don't think they're there yet to be revenge. At some point, they'll clean up, Skee. The Lakers will be nice. But AD, obviously, I'm not really worried about LeBron being out because I don't grade that as high as the market does. AD right now, we know he's inside info. AD is a little sick right now. He played last game, left it all out there on the floor, overtime win, all that. I think he'll be gassed today, Skee. That's their best player. He is the X factor for the Lakers right now. I think the Heat clean them up here. The defense is too strong for them, Skee. I know there's your squad, but you got to bet with your money, not your heart. So what you think, Skee? Would you be riding with the Lakers today?
So I'm gonna go against you guys and just make my case for my team here as best as I can. You know what I'm saying? So Anthony Davis is likely to play here. I think he's gonna be in the lineup.
He gonna play.
Rondo, Reeves, game time decision. I want Rondo in because that's who we need. If Rondo's in the game, hey, Lakers look damn good. Anthony Davis was looking like a new player. He was loving life with Rondo in the lineup. As soon as Westbrook came back on the floor, he's like, God damn it. He's like, I got to deal with this again. The team coming back from down 10, you know. So if we got Rondo, I'm good. He's showing Westbrook how to play point guard over there. As far as the Heat, bro, one, the Heat are on the road. They're 1-2 as a road favorite. We know in general, going back, Heat have not always been the best road team. How many guys you got on this injury report? Bam, game time decision. Tucker, game time decision. Hero, game time decision. Come on, man. They already top heavy. The Heat don't even have a bench. I mean, I think that's pretty clear. And they play tomorrow. So I think some of these guys sit out today. I think that, in the second half of this game, they could preserve their energy for the next one. So I think the Lakers are going to be in it. I would take the Lakers plus the points.
That's a good point that they do have a game tomorrow. I don't think the Lakers are there yet right now. Anything can happen. You're right. There are land points on the road. This is an East Coast team on the West Coast. Basketball wise, matchup wise, I like the Heat in this matchup. I'll be honest. There's injury matchups on both sides, like Skee stated as well. If Rondo doesn't play in this game, they will be in a world of hurt with Westbrook out there and the rest of the guys. Still no none. I feel like if I'm the Lakers, if they had their full squad, might be on the Lakers here, you'd have that revenge factor of Kendrick Nunn going up his old squad. But you don't have all of that. I think these guys will want. It's all about this: who they want to be more, the Lakers or the Clippers, in my opinion. So that's how you have to look at this one. They have the game tomorrow versus the Clippers. Who do you want to show up for more in this one? So I think those guys will play. I think that especially with all the stuff going out last game as well, they're just in a general pissed off mode right now at anyone, and the Lakers just happen to be that next team that they're facing. I think the Heat gonna clean them up here tonight. Lakers are not in good form. They were down some of their better players, and even with their best player, I don't think he's 100%. Just look at him in the hallway after that last game. So Shark, I know we're going for a while, but give me Heat first half, full game. Anything can happen, but I'm riding with it, my guys. Shark, break them off with your officials before we get out of here, my brother.
Well, we got 5 officials here. November 10th, winning Wednesday, 2021. Minnesota Timberwolves +7. Phoenix Suns, the buy hat is engaged, -5. Sac Kings on the road, a double revenge game where they travel well. Pick 'em. Houston Rockets to get off an elongated losing streak. The only environment they have covered at home all year. A -3 against Oklahoma City, a blowout. I think it repeats itself here in a revenge game against the Pistons, who do not travel well at all. And the final play, 7 o'clock in Cleveland, triple revenge game. Great line number, fading Washington off 2 home wins coming on the road. Cleveland Cavaliers +3. 5 plays, 9 words of lifestyle. Ride the wave or get out of the water. J Money, Skee, a pleasure as always. Let's dominate.
Skee, what you liking today, my guy? Any leans, totals, props, anything you want to share the people with, my guy?
No, I'll give you guys Memphis first half, and Charlotte's just the worst first half team in the league. 2-8-2 against the spread. They got -7.9 first half margin. Memphis 4-1 against the spread in the first half at the house. I told you what it's going to be tonight. You see it at the top of the screen right there, Smack City. So get them Grizzlies first half.
Let's cash, my guy, man. Going with a couple Smack City spots myself, man. Suns -5. Heat first half, full game, man. I see this as Smack City. I really like this spot with my guy Shark with the Kings. I like the spot as well with the Timberwolves. I like them, man. Let's get some cash today, my guys. It feels like it's gonna be a good day. Winning Wednesday, as my guy Shark would call it, man. The dog came in here and said he barking. He want to be a part of the show, man. But so let's cash these picks. Let's cash these picks, man. I appreciate you coming on with me, Skee. Shark, as always, man. Go and follow Skee on Twitter at Skee Profit. Follow Shark at Shark and Sports. You can follow me as well at J Money is Money, man. Almost 700 live watching, man. We appreciate the hell out of you guys. Hit the like button. Leave some. If you come back and watch the show, hey, leave those plays in the chat, man, or comments. I want to check them out. If y'all hitting those plays, you got to come on the show, man. So we appreciate y'all for tuning in. Retweet this as well on Twitter. We out, my guys. Let's cash together.